And this is what I'm talking about, the assumption that if you're in a place like that, you obviously are the help. Okay, example 2, that's it, white people. One more example, and then we're moving on, right? I'm on tour in the UK. I'm going up to Leeds. All my team was already up in Leeds, setting up the theatre. I'm travelling with my tour manager and best friend, Lila, also a black woman. So I go, you know what? That's Lila. I go, you know what, Lila? Let's not drive. It's a long drive. Let's get a train and go up in comfort. So we rush down to the train station. I buy us 2 first-class tickets. There's a train leaving, so we jump on the train takes off. And we're walking through the train towards the first-class carriage. We walk into the first-class carriage. This white woman is sitting at a table. She looks up, she sees us, and at the top of her voice, she shouts, this is first class! Now Lila goes, what the fuck did you say? And I hold Lila, no, Lila, no. No, I just grab her by her collar. No, Lila, no. No, Lila. No, Lila, no. No. Watch me humiliate this bitch just with my mouth. Come back. So at the top of my voice, I say, thank you, lady. But what was it about us that made you assume that we didn't belong in the first-class carriage? She starts to fumble. Everybody on the train just kind of leans out from behind their seats. And she gets flustered. She's like, and then all she could think of was like, I thought you were lost. And I was like, how'd you get lost on a moving train going in one direction, bitch? How? Now, this woman was not alone. She was with her husband. Her husband was sitting opposite her at the table, same table. But we did not see her husband's face for this entire confrontation because the entire time he was hidden behind the newspaper. Just... His hands never came down. All we saw were his knuckles just gripping that paper. And they were in their 60s. So they'd obviously been married a long time, and he's behind that newspaper going, ah! Nosy, big-mouth cow! 30 years we've been married, and every day of those 30 years I've said, mind your own fucking business! And now we're both gonna get beaten up by these 2 black boys.
It's a tough time to be a young person in the world right now. I think it's a tough time, and here's why. I was writing on a TV show last year, and at the end of the show, when it was canceled, I checked my bank balance on my phone. And on my phone, I saw that I had $5,421, not to brag. And this is how little I know about being an adult. I saw the bank balance on the screen, and I thought to myself, with no irony, I should buy a house. Not a big house, one of those small $5,000 houses. How is any millennial ever gonna own a home? How is any young person ever gonna own a home? It seems impossible, and it's made me hate old people. I see a few of you in here tonight. I hate you. Because every old person in a city like London or LA or New York is the same. They're like, my house is worth £2 million, but when I bought it in 1981, I paid 11 raspberries for it. And every young person's like, I have 9 roommates. One of them's a dog with rabies. We'd love to get him out, but his name is on the lease. And every old person's like, I'm a librarian with a country home in the Cotswolds. Go fuck yourself. And then there's criticism of young people. They're like, young people live on their phones. It's the only place we can afford to live. By the way, our governments are the oldest governments. Like, the US government has the third oldest government in the world. It's Croatia, Mozambique, the United States, and the UK is ninth. The average age of a US politician is dead. All of our leaders are crazy old. It's a gerontocracy. John McCain died last year, the guy who ran for president against Obama the first time, and people were like, what a tragedy. What? They're like, what a tragedy. Gone too soon. No, he should have died 25 years ago. John McCain, when he ran for president, was the oldest man who ever lived. I'm not kidding, look it up. He's the oldest man who ever lived. Everyone he went to high school with was killed when the meteor hit. John McCain is in the Bible. If you open up to the second page of the Bible, there's McCain killing his brother McAbel. He's crazy old. I can't enjoy certain television shows. Like, I was watching SpongeBob SquarePants with a younger cousin, 2 years younger. We love the classics. And I'm getting angrier and angrier because I'm watching SpongeBob and I'm thinking, this sponge owns his own pineapple? This sponge owns a 2-story pineapple? Oh, he must be a banker. He's not a banker. He works in a fast food restaurant. And his neighbor works with him in the restaurant, lives in an Easter Island head. That's a listed building. There's no way he can afford that.
I used to be not exactly ashamed of my blackness, but I never wanted to do anything that could be seen as stereotypically black, and it followed me all my life. So when I was younger, when I was at school, if I was ever in PE and a basketball would come flying at top speed towards my face, instead of catching that basketball in the air, dribbling it towards the nearest net and slam dunking the thing as I naturally would, I just let it hit me in the face and roll away. When I got older, I made a lot of friends, mainly white friends, and we started going to the club. Are you familiar with the club? Not the club, the club. At the end of the street. Whenever I went to the club and I was dancing with a group of friends, I would deliberately dance less well on purpose so that the white people wouldn't be intimidated. There'd always be one other black person in the corner of the room, arms folded, looking at me like, you're disrespecting yourself. When meanwhile, I'd be in the middle of the dance floor just moving like Miley Cyrus. I tried so hard. I tried so hard to pass as white. I did all the white things. I bought pesto. I said tissue. And I got really dangerously into Jamie T. I am talking about the era of Jamie T, Pete Doherty, Jack Pignati, Jedward. I spent my late teens, arguably the sexiest part of one's teens, just sort of lusting over these gurning predators. Like, imagine me, you'll be at a house party with an edgy white boy and he'd have the whole edgy boy starter kit. He'd have the skinny jeans, roly fag, unacceptable BO. He'd be talking always about one of his 2 favorite subjects, which is always either dubstep or himself. And you're sitting on the windowsill and finally you'd pluck up the courage to just cut him off mid-anecdote, put your hand on his shoulder, look him in the eye and be like, mate, I love you. And then he'd look at you, and you'd look at him, and you'd lean in for a kiss, and then he'd just sort of thumb MDMA into your mouth. And after that was it, you were like, wow! I think he really likes me. Oh my God, why white guys. I spent half my life lusting after unsuitable white guys. Have we got any white guys in? Come on, guys, cheer louder. We know how much you get paid. Because you are everywhere. You're in the White House, you're in the big banks, you're in all the fancy court cases, you're killing it. Sometimes literally. But I don't want anyone to think I'm having a go because I genuinely adore white guys. Love your work. Ed Sheeran, amazing. I haven't got anything against white men apart from, obviously, everything it is that they've done. Some of my best friends are white men. My mother is a white man.
Don't you think it's crazy that... Do you understand the technology for us to hear the pilot? I am actually utilizing it right now. This is the technology for us to hear the pilot. I don't know why we cannot hear. There's no other context where it's acceptable for us not to hear a person. Why are you muffling? If you were looking for an au pair for your kids and a person came over to your house and said, hey man, what's your experience with kids? And then they looked at you and went, ta-da. Like, you need to get out of my house, son. Weird things happen in airplanes. Weird things, like crazy things, bizarre things. Like, how bizarre would it be right now if someone walked in here and started selling us watches and perfume? Wouldn't that be the most bizarre thing? But it happens all the time in airplanes. No one's ever gone, huh, this is crazy. This is that English polite thing. Oh, I've already got one, yeah. I'm not looking at the moment, yeah. Not every airline should be selling watches, though. Like Ryanair, no business selling watches. You need the watch, Ryanair. Your flight's 7 hours late. And also, why am I buying a 400-pound watch on an 11-pound flight? This makes no sense. Yeah, being in London is cool. I like being in London. One of my favorite things to be in London, there's so much to do. I try to buy a ticket online to watch Wimbledon. Yeah, man. The Wimbledon final, I was like, I'm excited. Went online, it was £3,000. I was like, what? £3,000. Okay, I'm not saying I wouldn't pay £3,000, right? I'm not saying I wouldn't pay £3,000 for a Champions League finals ticket. But I'm not paying £3,000 for a sport where someone is gonna tell me, quiet, please. Are you out of your mind? For £3,000, there will be no quiet, please. For £3,000, I'm rubbing my nipples center court. Are you out of your mind? My brother, 3,000. Oh, it's a lot of money. 3,000. My brother, £3,000. For £3,000, I should be able to whisper some advice in Roger Federer's ear. 3,000. I should be able to walk into the court. Sorry, Roger. Come on, forearm. Let's work on that. Come on. My brother, around 3,000. For 3,000, I should be able to punch a ball boy in the face. For 3,000. Could be walking across, picking up a ball up. Uppercut him in the nose. He'll be so confused. What was that for? I'm like, no, it's part of the package. If you look carefully, I can kick you in the balls.
American consumerism is based on just taking out late-night ads and pretending that you're mentally deficient. Just screaming at the top of your voice. Come on down to Wally's World of Mortgages. That's right, we've got mortgages. I'm crazy. The boss left with the keys. I'm by the safe. I don't even work here. We're going to give you a mortgage. Even if you never heard of the word mortgage, come on down here, we're going to give you one. Can't pay us back, won't pay us back, we don't give a shit. Even if you're a trailer park crack whore popping babies out of your womb like self-rising biscuits, come on down here now, you're a homeowner. People will take advantage of that guy. He seems nuts. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular, whole infomercial devoted to the biggest piece of shit ever perpetrated on the public. It's the Ad Crunch Spectacular. You can have a washboard stomach in 12. Who needs a washboard stomach? You gonna play hillbilly bluegrass music right off your stomach there? It's shit! Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. I used to pummel vaguely Middle Eastern looking guys for a living. Now I'm selling this piece of shit Velcro nailed to an old ski. Flip it over, it's a canoe. Turn it inside out, it's a lady's evening dress. It's shit! You can have it by tomorrow. Of course you can, because it's a big piece of shit. That's what we do in America. We make lots of crap, but we deliver it really, really fast. Good things come to those who wait, but shit pretty much shows up right away, doesn't it? Pick up the phone. I like the Ad Crunch, bing bong. That was fast. Wacka, 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 wacka. I'd love to tell you things are better in America, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, I don't really know. It's, we have a fantastic president, but most Americans just want to see his birth certificate. Show us your birth certificate, Obama. Because, you know, I know there was I watched the elections here, and I kind of watched them. I kept an eye on them. I didn't get the full brunt of it. Basically, I left the country for a while. Gordon Brown was in charge. I came back. Now, apparently, the country's being led by two gay antiques dealers. I don't know how that happened. But at least they're getting along. As Americans, let me explain it to you. There's two parties in America. You probably know this. There's Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are called the red states. Democrats are the blue states. The blue states are generally either on the West Coast or on the Atlantic seaboard. So basically, Democrat is anyone who's seen water. So if you go to America, find a Republican and take him to the beach. And even the Republicans hate each other now. So they have a splinter group called the Teabaggers, the Tea Party, Teabaggers, whose leader, of course, is Sarah Palin, future presidential candidate, who spent 2 years governing 8,000 square miles of snow and would occasionally nip out at lunch to blow the head off a moose from 300 yards away. That's presidential material. Another woman who's moved to the forefront, running for a senator from Delaware named Christine O'Donnell, who's running on a platform of anti-masturbation. She actually wants to make masturbation illegal. I give that law 6 minutes. Because the Bible says it's wrong. These are her exact words. Well, if my husband has figured out how to please himself, why am I in the picture? I got news for you. You're not. No man ever whacked one out of the ballpark thinking of his wife, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be thinking of anything. You'd be thinking of a 300-pound Bavarian milkmaid strapped over a barrel, or you banger with a kayak paddle wearing a Burger King paper crown and making her call you Mr. King Big Daddy Spanky Bottom. As you're about to shoot a ropey parabola of man jizz onto her ham hock buttocks, David Hasselhoff walks in dressed as a Luftwaffe pilot and says you've got a tax refund coming. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
When a man wears trousers, he's still a man. When a girl wears trousers, she's still a girl. When your dad wears lipstick, alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells. When the roller coaster's fast, it makes you feel high. When the roller coaster spins, the world whizzes by. When there's blood on the seats, alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells. When an airline pilot says fasten your seatbelts, that's all right. When he says there's a bit of turbulence, it's just part of the flight. When you overhear him say, what does that line mean? Alarm bells, alarm bells, alarm bells. In your life there are sights and smells, but listen out for those alarm bells. For example, I am now a quarter of the way through my act. Trials. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. So this bloke said to me, he said, Tim, he said, did you know Marie Osmond is about to appear in the world's worst film? I said, Warner Brothers. He said, I already have. So I went to the record shop. I said, what have you got by the doors? He said, a bucket of sand and a fire blanket. I said, can you recommend some music for a kid's party? He said, Small Faces. I said, of course they have, the kids. My mum and dad are complete opposites. You couldn't hope to meet two such totally different blokes. My local police chief does a talk on heroin, so you can't understand any of it. Do you know, I was mugged recently. I was at Victoria Station, and I was mugged, and I burst into tears. And a policeman came up to me. He said, I'm fining you £10. I said, for crying out loud. He said, yes. So I gave him a description of the mugger, and he built up a photo fit. And when I looked at it, it looked exactly like me. So he took me in for questioning. He said, where were you at 5 o'clock? I said, I was at Victoria Station. He said, it's not looking good, is it? I said, I've got to go to court on a drink driving charge. He said, is it the Old Bailey? I said, no, Harvard's Bristol Cream. He said, why don't you drink non-alcoholic wine? I said, Schlur. He said, why don't you drink alcoholic wine? Tequila, schnapps, sambuca. I'm calling the shots. So I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. I said, I can't stop gambling. He said, you want Gamblers Anonymous? I said, you're probably right, I'm so drunk, I know where I am. I saw this sign, it said hairdressing for men. I walked in, there was a rabbit trying on clothes, and all these blokes going, yeah, very nice. So I went to the cinema, I saw a very sad film, and the bloke behind me suddenly started wailing. I got hit in the back of the head with the harpoon. But you know, I love reading. At the moment, I'm reading My Life by Bill Clinton, which freaked me out because I didn't know he knew anything about my life. And this bloke said to me, he said, I've got bubonic plague. I said, don't give me that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this. Well, I didn't bring it with me. Today I had dinner with my boss and his wife, and it was a complete disaster. My boss's wife said to me, she said, Tim, how many potatoes would you like? I said, I'll just have one. She says, all right, you don't have to be polite. I said, all right then, I'll just have one, you stupid cow. Thank you very much, good night, God bless.
I used to chase women quite a lot. Things were different back then, you know. It was like you had to go out on the hunt as a man back then. Back in the 70s, you had to put a nice splash of Paco Rabanne on. You stand there with your mates. There was no Facebook, none of this nonsense back then. You went in cold. You went in cold. You're there with your mates Friday night, you've had a couple of pints of lager, got your shirt ironed, jeans pressed. You say to your mates, look, I'm going to go and get them birds over. When I bring them back, don't mess it up. Walk over to them. Evening, ladies. I know it must have hurt when you fell from heaven. Maybe my friends and I could ease the pain by buying you a few drinks. No, fair enough. Come on, we're going. We're only coming here on lesbian night, aren't we? It's very nice that women don't have to worry about this nonsense now being pulled. It's great, isn't it, that they fancy you, you're in a nightclub or something, you're chatting to her, and she says, look, shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna sleep with your brother, calm down. Takes you home and uses you. And you wake up in the morning a bit dishevelled. The cat's looking at you. The judgmental cat on the pine dresser. But the worst thing has happened in all the commotion. You've forgotten her name. Now, I'm a bit old-fashioned. I think if you chomped on someone's fanny, you should remember their name, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a rule of mine. So, go downstairs, go through the post. Thinking. I'm a thinker. Crafty cockney. Oh, let's have a look here. Oh, I can't call her the occupier. That'd be a bit much. But I'm not so old-fashioned. I don't think if you've slept with someone very quickly, there still might be something there beyond the lust. So you tend to go out for a date, don't you, on the Wednesday night after work. You don't want to mess your weekend up. You go express. Pizza Express, not a hut. Too soon for the hut. Hut comes later. It's got to be express early days. Marbling table, flour. It's all going on. Now she's thinking, this geezer's all right as it happens. He's a bit of a stunner. He's not bad in the bedroom. Then you start proving you've got half a brain and all. She thinks he's a potential boyfriend. Ooh. Ooh, potential boyfriend. Suddenly you're getting this speech halfway through the 4 seasons. Listen, can I assure you, it's not my usual practice to sleep with men as quickly as I happen to have slept with you. And I'm like, relax, homeowner.
Every parent in this room knows that the next phase of what I was about to do is the most important phase to a new parent. It's when you introduce your new baby to their already existing siblings, yeah? And there they were, my baby girl and Lispy, they were ready for it. I asked my baby girl to come forward. I said, baby girl, come forward, please. Here's your new brother. And she said, Daddy, I want to go and play. I said, you go play. I wish I could come play with you, go. She's like her mum, innit? Conscientious, bright. She can judge a situation. Lispy, however, is like his dad. Lispy was there like, yeah, ooh, new babies. New babies coming in the house. New baby, show me the... Dad. His face looked like shit. And I'm like, yeah. Lispy knows what I want. Time passes, man. Listen, this was more stressful to me than my burgeoning career in comedy. I was living with this every day, yeah? Now, me and my family got a nice, simple routine that we like to do. It's mainly free. I am Asian, so I do gravitate towards those kind of things. We wake up in the morning, we come downstairs, we have breakfast, we watch TV, nice and simple. My daughter's usually the first one to wake up. She wakes me up, Daddy, let's go down. I join her, and then she puts on her favorite show, and her favorite show is Peppa Pig. Now, hold on a minute. Jack, you're back on this one. A lot of liberal white people in the room. I know some of you are thinking, Guz, Peppa Pig. Are you allowed to watch that? Is that halal television program? Shut up, Linda. It's fine. It's a good show. She's watching her favorite show. Lispy comes running down like, yeah, George Pigs, my guy, George Pigs. And then 5 minutes later, my wife brings down It Chapter 3. She brings it... every morning, can't get away from it. And by this stage, it's about 14 months in now, yeah? He's trying to balance his head, so he's just like, Every single morning, I'm stressed out, it's a small house. I say, guys, we need to get out here and facilitate better vibes. Let's go to the park. Even the Butters one. Everybody, let's go to the park. Get out and get some fresh air. Get to the park. Parents, these days, you can't be more than careful, all right? You know there's a lot of weirdos running around in parks and stuff. I give my children a clear message. Baby girl, Daddy loves you. You are the future. I need you to be safe. Stay in my peripheral vision. Go, live your life. Lispy, come here, baby boy. Lispy, say silly sausages for Daddy. Silly sausages, Daddy. Good boy. Yeah, there you go. Love that boy. This gremlin-looking kid. Sometimes I just let him walk away. Go. Past the monkey bars, past the swings, outside the park where I can't see him no more. And And I know some of you are thinking, Guz, you're a disgusting human being. I know it's my shortcoming. It's all about aesthetics for me and my children, yeah? You must think, Guz, anything could happen to that child when he goes out of your sight. Nothing's gonna happen to him. You haven't seen his face! You know, Eventim Apollo, a lot of people don't know when and how they're gonna die. I do. It's when he grows up, sees this, and shanks me in my forehead. That's what's gonna happen. There's no good ending to it. What can I say?
The worst one, though, if someone's done something unstrong, we call them a weed. I don't know if there's any gardeners in. Weeds are the strongest bastard I've ever met. There's a weed called Japanese knotweed. You can cut it into 100 little bits, put it inside a plastic bag. It gets back out the plastic bag. This is a plant. It hasn't even got a face. Gets back out the plastic bag, meets back up with its mates, botanical term, gets back down into the ground, re-roots. It's so strong, so powerful, that it breaks up the foundations of buildings and destroys the value of property. Weeds can bring down capitalism, guys. And I'd like to see a pair of gonads do that. I have got no idea if my attempts to gentlify my son are having any impact whatsoever. I have no idea. I've seen one inkling, ever. He was playing with a couple of dinosaurs. He didn't know that I was watching. They were fighting. All his play is violent and fighting. But as the dinosaurs were fighting, I saw this. They were going, rah, 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 rah. And at the end of the fight, they went, goodbye, darling, goodbye. Yes, I did that. But the rest of the time, he's a nightmare. I'm so honest in my comedy about what a handful my son is. I feel like I need to reassure you, like, you know, I do love him. Don't ring anyone. I couldn't love him more. But if anything, that makes it weirder, because you've got this very extreme, very intense love for someone. That makes it more confusing when their behaviour is objectively disgusting. I think it's best summed up in clichés with a 3-year-old, because the clichés are true, so... Genuinely, without a second's thought, I would jump in front of a car for him. But also some days because of him. Because even if you take all of the violence out of the equation, just arguing with somebody that entitled but with no empathy is hard. And usually it starts from the second that you've woken up. I don't know if you've ever even shared a house with a 3-year-old. Normally, when you wake up, their creepy little face is already there. Saying something like, I've had a poo. They say anything that means that you have to get up. So once I genuinely got, all the taps are on. And there was one day in particular that I will never forget because of the relentlessness of it. And it did start from the second that we'd woken up. Being eyes open, I was like, good morning, darling. And he was like, it's not morning, it's lunchtime. You're a lizard. I don't like daddy. You're not my best friend. Can I have a knife? Here we go. Come on, come to the kitchen. I don't eat meals anymore, only eat snacks. Can I have a cake? 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 Can I have a cake right now? That is not how you talk to me. Can I have a cake, please? Now I've got to give you a shitting cake. It's not even 7 a.m. That goes in, doesn't it? Brrr. Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake right now, please? Can I have another cake? Can I have another cake? The thing is, darling, what we've got to learn is that sometimes we want a nice thing, and then we get the nice thing, and we have to think, oh, wasn't it nice to have a nice thing? Doesn't mean we instantly have to have another 4. Can I have 4 cakes? 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 This went on so relentlessly that after a few hours of it, I, a grown-up, said to a 3-year-old I couldn't love more who asks for knives, and I meant it. I said, do you know what? You can have whatever you want. But I swear to you, he went, I don't want whatever I
want! Where are my Londoners at? I've lived in London 15 years. 15 years I've been in London. What a fantastic place. When I first moved to London, I moved to South London. My friend said to me, be careful, mate. In South London, bruv, yeah? They'll fuck you up, yeah, South London, you know what I mean, yeah. But I'll move to Richmond, and they were lovely. If anything, I mug them. Do you know what I mean? But it's nice to have a nice mix of people in. We've got some older people. See some young guys, there's some young people in. We've got some Gen Zs. Welcome. They can't cheer too loud because of their anxiety. I'm triggered. I'm going to hide. They're good people. I'm jealous of you. I mean, I'm a millennial. I don't even know what clothes to wear anymore. I used to have the skinny jean. Do you remember that? What do you wear? You know what I mean? I see the Gen Zers and they've got their cargo pants. That's what the young guys wear, cargo pants. They've got so many pockets. You know, it's for all their medication. And as a millennial, I'm like, phone, wallet, keys. They're like anxiety, ADHD, house keys, can't afford them, antidepressants. No, but I get it. Like, I'm not taking the mick. Like, young people in this room, of course you've got anxiety. Do you know what I mean? You've got legitimate things to be anxious about. You're young people. You know, I'm a millennial. I've got anxieties as well. They're not as big, but hey, my feelings are valid, okay? Okay? Check your privilege at the door. Thank you very much. Yes, Gen Zers are anxious about by the age of 40. They're all going to have to swim to work due to global warming. We get it. I've got to go to the dentist every now and again, okay? Yeah, the dentist. I can't go. I'm too anxious about it. I'm not scared of drills or any of that. I just can't be left in a room on my own with a man as I get slowly reclined into the therapy position and then lie to him about how much sugar I've had. Now, the reason I can't go to the dentist, and please tell me this isn't just me, is every time I go to the dentist, and whenever the dentist puts anything in my mouth, please say this isn't just me, but when anything enters my mouth at the dentist, my tongue starts to behave like a professional porn star. What the... Trying to deep throat his drill. Like I'm possessed. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. And I salivate too much as well, so that's a genuine thing. The last time I went to the dentist, I needed 4 fillings. During the second filling, I was salivating so much, the dentist had to send for a second woman with another suction hose. I got double suckies that day. 2 suction hoses and a drill in my mouth at the same time. My tongue was like, woo, gangbang.